Hi, welcome back to the Quiet Zone. I'm Susan Patang. Today's video lesson is about 4 things that you must do to handle stress. So the first one is to be mindful. The past is gone and the future's not here yet. So the only logical thing that there is to do is to maximize our experience of this moment right now. Okay, that's what makes sense. Too many times we're busy thinking about what is the next thing that we have to do, and I'll be happy when this happens or I get this. Okay, we're either forward facing into the future or we're rearward facing and regretting things that happened in the past. So by staying in the present moment, which is the only thing that's actually real right now, that's logical. Okay, it makes sense. um, think about it this way too. Our lives are this timeline. Okay, and here it is. Here's our timeline, and there are milestones that are on that timeline. Things like graduating from high school and from college, and getting married and having children and buying a house, and negative things too, like deaths in the family or whatever. But it's not those moments that make up most of the time that we spend on the planet. It's all those in between moments, all the things, the marking time moments, the day to day activities. That's what constitutes most of our time on Earth. So let's take a minute, focus on what we're doing right now, focus on what's happening around us, and observe and experience. Okay, that's the secret. Do you remember when you were a kid and there was just a certain way that in the summertime your kitchen felt and the way the light came in and you didn't have to go to school and you were happy and you remember that fondly, and there was nothing particular about that moment other than your observation of it and the way it made you feel, your experience of it. So take a moment as you're walking through your day to experience and observe the moment as it's happening, which leads us now to number 2, to be grateful and to be positive. Okay. Um, there is always something to be grateful for, always. Even if it's only that you had the strength to survive that particular moment, there is always something to be grateful for. So there's something I call the new car factor. So when you buy a new car, all of a sudden you go out on the road and you see all the other cars just like it. Well, they didn't just magically appear overnight. They're now familiar to you because you have one. And the same thing applies to gratitude and positivity. So the more grateful you are and the more positive you are, the more positivity and gratitude you will have for other things because it's familiar to you now. This is a familiar emotion to you. It will make your experience of life happier and less stressful. Okay, so find the wonder and the awe and the amazement and the gratitude for these individual moments that you are observing and experiencing. So let's have an example. You're washing the dishes. Okay, normally washing the dishes is a chore, isn't it? um, well, look at the way the sunlight is glinting off the faucet, and then oh, look at the soap bubbles, look at all the colors, and the warm water feels good on your hands, and the soft soap suds are getting your dishes clean. And look how nice and clean they are, and look how neat and organized they are in the dish drainer after you're done. So that's a lot better way to look at washing the dishes than saying, oh my God, I hate doing this, isn't it? So little things. I'm not talking, I mean, of course, you want to be grateful for the big things like the roof over your head and your job and your family and everything else, of course. But find the wonder and awe and amazement and gratitude for all the little things during the day that we take for granted. Technology, our health. Oh, wow, this is great. Look, I have a cut on my hand and it healed. Isn't the human body amazing? Look at the rain outside. Isn't that amazing? Because what it does is it provides water so that the plants can grow. Nature is amazing. So find all these little things and say, wow, you know what? I'm really grateful for my car. It gets me from place to place. I'm hurtling down the road in a box at 55 miles an hour. Oh my gosh, I couldn't do that on my own. Change the way that you view these things. Be grateful, be positive. If you make a mistake, then you can look at, or something bad happens, you can say, well, what did I learn from this? What can I take from this that is positive or that I can be grateful for? Which leads us to number 3, monitor your self-talk. Would you talk to somebody that you love in the same way that you talk to yourself? Think about that. Monitor the way that you speak to yourself. So, what are you telling yourself about situations, about yourself, and what you're doing? Always be kind and loving and encouraging to yourself, because that's going to give you a much better experience in the moment. Okay. So be careful with that. So don't tell yourself, oh, you're stupid. Look what you did. What's wrong with you? I made a mistake. I'm going to fix it. And now I know what not to do the next time. Okay. There's an example of turning it around, monitoring your self talk, and giving yourself a kind, encouraging message. Number 4 is to learn how to handle conflict effectively. One of the biggest strategies that I can offer to you in doing so is to use something called reflective listening. So what you're going to do is use statements that sound like, it sounds like you want, or it seems like you feel, or what I'm hearing is, because what you're doing is you're listening to what the other person is saying and you're reflecting back what they just communicated to you. You're not formulating a retort or a response yet. You are simply acknowledging that you hear the way they feel. There are a couple of things that you can do when you're managing conflict, like employing the golden rule, making sure that you're treating other people the way you want to be treated. Also, to walk a mile in their moccasins. Imagine what they're going through and imagine what their point of view is. Think about it for a minute. Why do they feel the way they feel? Why are they having the opinion that they have? And being solution oriented. So how do we solve the problem? Because conflict is usually about problem solving. So how do we solve this problem? And being collaborative and cooperative. I can give you even more strategies for resolving conflict. In my super lesson power session, say that 3 times fast, it's called How to Handle Conflict Without Stress or Anxiety. And it's on you can find it on my website, www.thequietzonecoaching.com. And what it is it's one session that comes with a video lesson I think it's about 20 minutes long, like this one. Number 2, you also get what I call cheat sheets, written materials with the exercises, with the strategies on how to handle conflict and criticism and how to communicate more effectively, and also how to set limits. And then what you will do is after you go through those, you will meet with me one-on-one for 45 minutes. And at the end of that 45-minute session, you will be able to handle the conflict with your partner or spouse. You will be able to handle conflict in the office with your coworkers or your boss. You will be able to shut down nosy people, and you'll also be able to handle your mother-in-law, I promise. So you get all of that for $97. That's it. So again, that website is www.thequietzonecoaching.com. I hope this has been an interesting and informative video for you. And I look forward to speaking with you soon.